Jackson Podcast.
Thank y'all for tuning in to the show, man. In the famous words of Jay-Z, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. You're far too kind. You're far too kind. Give yourself a round of applause. You know, I know a lot of people listen to my content when they working, if they driving trucks, they doing Uber, they at their desk at the real estate firm or at their desk at the office when they getting their money. Salute to y'all too, man, for checking out the content. You need some motivation. You want to know what's going on in the culture. Thank you for your presence. You're far too kind. You know, it's a lot of individuals also that is into fitness, man. They turn my podcast on. They get on the treadmill. They may go run a 5K or something when they on the trail. They might lift some weights or whatever, do some deadlifts, some squats or whatever. If you're checking out the podcast, you got your earbuds in right now, man, and you support your boy, you're far too kind. You know, we got a lot of new viewers. I salute y'all. Thank you for being subscribed to the channel. Thank you for checking out the audio version on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you know, the returning viewers who've been supporting since day one, since we started this thing off in 2020 during COVID. For the people who have purchased the membership and they get the exclusive content on YouTube, thank you. You're far too kind. We're going to do something a little different on this episode, though, man. We're going to start it off with music, man. It's summertime, man. The sun out is shining, man. It's time, you know, to get your shine on, get your health right. Pull out your whips, clean up your whips, clean yourself up, go get a haircut, man, or go get your dreadlocks done. Go moisturize your skin with the shea butter or something like that. Go put your feet in the ocean, man. Thank you for your presence. We're going to do something different. We're going to kick it off with the vibes, with the music this time, man. This is a record that I'm fond of that reminds me of the summertime. Let's go.
This is it, what? Lucini pouring from the sky, let's get rich, what? The G-Key finds the sugar dimes, can't quit, what? Now pop the cork and steam the Vega and get lit, what? Introducing Phantom of the Dark, walk through my heaven with levitation from refresh drenching deep as an E7, showboating with Rugers, flash vines, Belafonte digger. Let's skate for what this worth as we confiscate your figures.
Casanova Brown, levitating Jiki and Dashiki's a Lahada car, 54, chasing diamond runners headed icebound. The big chiller diamond convention, Harlem Buck strut, freezing world heights, Hollywood, Madam Butterfly. Let me in your house, a pleasure. From the knuckle swatch, shadow boxes catching black eye blue.
I play the thief, what? Sensations at the Monte Glory, screaming Chiba. Fulfilling pleasures in my castles, blow the smoke out. The Garza Vega substitutes when the Dutch is gone. The low don't stop, give me shouts, it's the season. Sauteas, two flayers for swerving, no corners. We magnets to moolah, living with Charlie's Angels on us. No smiling when sliding, that gets you caught up in the octa or deaded for moving. It's just like that as we proceed.
Saturday night special, better take it light. Jaja, you're a Capitan. Quest to the coast, the key logo, wire the chain gang. Keep your ears out for a ear, sip the fountain blue. House of bamboo, paradise.
This is it, what? Lucini pouring from the sky, let's get rich, what? The G-Key finds the sugar dimes, can't quit, what? Now pop the cork and steam the Vega and get lit, what? This is it, what? This is it, what? Lucini pouring from the sky, let's get rich, what? The G-Key finds the sugar dimes, can't quit, what? Now pop the cork and steam the Vega and get lit, what?
Falling sparrows, courtesies of Black Caesar, the convincer, silky days, satin nights, taking flight, Donald Gorn, sweet sensation, Spanish flying with the lady Scarface, bottoms up, sunshine, love potion,
and we hailing from the Magic City, transcending sweeter on your aura, Fancini and London, relaxation and Bora Bora, got notion to bring it, sing it, never been my function, stoning, robbing, we heisting merchandise and gunning, love it.
Yeah. let's get back to the conversation, man, of the topics of discussion at hand. Barack Obama made his presence on Michelle and her brother's podcast, and some interesting things went viral, man. At one point in time in my life, I was a big supporter and a big contributor and a person that was celebrating a black man being in office. We got to talk about this, though, because my thoughts have changed dramatically. Also, I'm late to this topic of discussion, but I'm going to still discuss it, though. Shaq and RG3. Shaq defended Angel Reese and RG3's statements. Also, I got to talk about that, man. Charleston White also was on the PBD podcast, and he said some interesting things about hip-hop culture, Planned Parenthood. He also said some things about how America don't prioritize their own. Is that a true statement? What's your thoughts about that? People who have traveled the world, people who have seen more than America, who have embraced other countries and other cultures. Do you think America prioritizes on, or they just let people fail? Shannon Sharpe got a settlement. He settled out. The young Becky done caught the man slipping. The man almost 60 years old slipping with a 20-year-old. He settled out. We're going to read the article from US Weekly on that also and chop it up with that conversation too. And we got a multitude of conversations that we're going to clip up and put out throughout the week, though, throughout this podcast. But I feel like some people are interested in long-form content and they like long-form content. Another conversation we're going to have is that DC Young Fly went on Rory and Maul's podcast addressing how he feels about Rick Ross walking off the set of the 85 South show. And we're going to talk about Rick Ross for a minute, too, because I know he got a lot of supporters, a lot of people who like his music and think that he's an authentic individual. But I just want to say some things because I come from the real trenches, the real environment that Rick Ross portrays in his imagery. Even his stolen name come from somebody that we may discuss in this episode also. But last but not least, I want to talk about a lot of things in boxing. So Melyssa Ford supposed to be boxing Superhead. That's what was said on Joe Budden's podcast. It was hilarious. Laila Ali and Clarissa Shields. Will they get the deal done? We're going to talk about that and put the clips up to that also. Floyd. If I was Floyd, I would think it's laughable what Roy Jones is saying about his career. But, some people have egos and some people think differently. So we're going to get into that conversation also, man, and talk a little bit of sports and stuff, man. And I just appreciate y'all being here. But we're going to keep the vibes going. We got music to play. Let's get to it.
Yeah, maybe I'm selfish. I want you to myself, I can't help it. All mine. Yeah, maybe I'm selfish. All mine, ladies, and I can't. Maybe I'm selfish. I want you to myself, I can't help it. Yeah, no one but me. Yeah, baby. Come on. To my thick chicks down in Texas, all the way to New Orleans where the girls could catfish. And in LA, every chick's an actress. Hollywood status with the shaded glasses. To Detroit, yeah, the place that I rest, where the ladies got asses and la sex. And hot Atlanta, y'all, is one of the best, where they speak southern slang and smoke la cess. And New York women are way too fresh. Too much on your mind, let me ease that stress. I wish you all were mine, it's so selfish. Maybe I'm feeling myself too much, I guess. To my ladies all across the globe, in small towns that I don't even know. No, to all local international codes. Whether you see me in streets or catch me at shows, I'm calling. Yeah, maybe I'm selfish. I want you to myself, I can't help it. All mine. Yeah, maybe I'm selfish. All mine, ladies, and I can't. Maybe I'm selfish. I want you to myself, I can't help it. Yeah, no one but me. Yeah, baby.
Now don't be trying to come around my girl acting like Mr. Friendly and steal the spotlight like Mr. Bentley. I spotted her like Spud McKenzie, and for them fake boobies I paid them Benjis. Get your own. I got Paris, he got Nicki, he tried to get him a clone. He said, yeah, you know you got extra hoes and everything you do is extra cold. From the polo fleece to the Jesus piece, I got family in high places like Jesus, niece. Can I please say my piece? If y'all fresh to death, then I'm deceased. And this one here is a heat rock, spit like a beatbox, the way the beat rocks, new version of Pete Rock. But for that Benz, I get CL love, so I switch my girls around like 3L Dub. I'm calling.
Yeah, maybe I'm selfish. I want you to myself, I can't help it. All mine. Yeah, maybe I'm selfish. You're mine, ladies, and I can't. Maybe I'm selfish. I want you to myself, I can't help it. Yeah, no one but me. Yeah, baby.
You know, that record, man, that was the first time I heard John Legend on a record, man. John Legend is legendary, and he has contributed a lot to hip-hop. I love what he did on the Clips new record. The one where they talking about their mom and pops passing away and stuff. John Legend is one of the best ever. I feel like him and Alicia Keys, man, they one of the people that if you want to make an emotional song and have those pianos playing in it, then you got to have them featured on your record, man. John Legend and Alicia Keys, if I had the budget to create an album right now and I could get them two on it, they both would be on my album. I would make some emotional driven songs so I can get people, you know, feeling where I'm coming from and engaging in the experience that I would want them to feel, you know, because art is something, you know, that you can feel. Art imitates life. We're going to get into another record before we start the show, though, but I want to say, like, what did y'all do this Saturday, man? I had a great Saturday myself, man. Took wifey to the movies to watch Superman. It took us back to our youth. You know, we went and had a great meal. I had some, just some pasta, Caesar salad, you know, a glass of wine. I was just cooling, man, because, you know, life is good, man. Life is short also. Not trying to speak a short life into existence, but it's short. So I feel as if happiness is a choice. You got to choose to be happy, to do the things that you want to do. Not trying to make it heavy before we get into the content of the show or nothing like that, though, but you got to appreciate your time here, man. Real talk. Remain creative. Remain interested in whatever you interested in. But before we get into that, man, I don't promote myself that much musically on my show, and I need to start more and more. And I want to play one of my records, man, one of the dopest records off of my album. The one that got 260,000 views, man, just one record off of my, well, I released this in 2023. It's called Blessings, man. The song is titled Something Real. Let's get into it.
2 cups in your system. You bad and you know it. Don't be afraid to show it up. Got what you've been missing. This is something different. Something that'll make you fall in love.
Real is rare, man. She tired of all the cap, all the lies, the fabricated stories, man. She just wants something real. And you know, shawty, let's get to it. Chip.
2 cups and we playing spades. I'm the ace in the game and I'm here to stay. Valet park the coupe, you married to the truth. I was ballin' as a youth, now what you think I do? Change your life, none of ice, be Carolina blue. We ain't worried about the price, we stay making moves. I used to lose until I met you. Now I'm winning, got a higher view. Looking down on haters cause they don't have a clue.
2 cups in your system. You bad and you know it. Don't be afraid to show it all. Got what you've been missing. This is something different. Something that'll make you fall in love.
Change scenery, now we live bi-coastal. I heard a rap nigga say that the boy local. I'm plug global, tryna touch a Billy like Oprah. I was trapping, why you sat on the sofa? Take my chick to Supperland and Dior loafers. Sip the Napa Valley Red, we don't need the coasters. All she wanted something real, you niggas lose focus. I left them chicks in the past cause they move bogus.
2 cups in your system. You bad and you know it. Don't be afraid to show it all. Got what you've been missing. This is something different. Something that'll
So the first piece of content I want to get on is, Barack Obama, man. He said something that really caught my attention about fathers and needing more than one father. And I'm just going to play the content and we're going to converse about it. Let's get straight to it.
That's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
One dad.
One dad. No matter how good the dad
is. He can't be
everything.
everything.
He can't be everything. And that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or what have you, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this.
Yeah.
Right. So that I think is creating that community. I know it's corny, but that's what they need.
And we talk a lot about what we had with our mother and father, right? And, a lot of times, but we really did have a big community of people in our lives.
Right.
I mean, that we don't talk a lot about that on this show. We allude to it, but Craig and I, we grew up in a huge community of extended aunts and uncles and cousins and all types of male role models, which helped in broadening out and filling in where our mother and father were limited.
So, I want to say something before I give a take on this. On this episode and in all aspects of life, I feel like I'm not going to agree with nobody in totality. But just because I disagree don't mean I have to be disgruntled. There's not one human being that I agree with in totality. And before I talk about what I disagree with that Obama said, I want to talk about the things that I do agree with. Now, being raised, up in a community is beneficial. I'm going to talk about my experience in the community I grew up in and a little bit about myself, though. But, I think that Obama, what he's saying is accurate about needing a community of individuals. I think that it could be two ways you look at this, and it's just interesting because I feel like what he was saying, he was meaning it in a metaphorical speaking way. It's like he was speaking like a rapper. So, to me, a village is necessary. You have to have a village of individuals that is in alignment with you and your family, and you can be raised. You need multiple men. That's true. You need multiple individuals. I was raised in the street, raised up in front of street dudes who really didn't have my best intentions, but I learned so much by looking at them of what to do and what not to do, what to be influenced by and what not to be influenced by. And it was interesting, but I didn't have a father in the home with me. I probably hadn't seen my father. I can't count on both hands how many times I've seen my father in real life. But I want to say, I was raised up by my mom, my grandma, my uncles, the streets, the hood. It was a whole village that raised me and made me the man that I am today. So with that being said, I agree with the village aspect. But, he said what I had and what guys need. I don't like the fact that Obama has been talking about homosexuality since the inception of his presidency, highlighting it and speaking it like it's something that should be prioritized in this country when there's other things that's more important. It's not even 2% of the country is LGBTQ. You prioritizing something that it has minimal effect on the country. And I understand a person that is that may need that. See, that's the difference. A person that is that may need that. But when he's speaking to the audience, who do y'all think that he's speaking to? Because I don't think he's speaking to Israeli people like this, the Jews. I don't think that he would tell a Jew boy what he needs. I don't think he would tell a Chinese boy what he needs. I don't think he would tell a white boy what he needs. I think he's speaking specifically to black people. And he hasn't lived the black experience, telling the black person what they need. When laws and beneficial things was passed for the Asians and for the LGBTQ community, not for the black boys. The black boys during your presidency got put on the back burner, got left behind. They was highlighting femininity and LGBTQ and putting it up on a pedestal instead of putting black on a pedestal, and it affected the men. And they starting to, when I was listening to this podcast, they was aware of that. But they was speaking in a weird way to me, though. So the reason I don't like what he's saying and speaking to boys like that, because the promotion of sex, and not just gay sex, just sex in general, because I grew up in a time where kissing on commercials and television and sex wasn't even on TV, and it was straight sex. So now that they having this homosexuality sex and it's on TV is just weird to me, because people wasn't even kissing on TV back in the days. But what he's trying to speak the acceptance into it, and by him speaking the acceptance into it, I feel as if this is part of the hindrance of the black family structure. The man not being in the home. People ain't procreating like they supposed to and like they used to. The acceptance of, I don't care what nobody do in their bedroom, but the promotion of this thing is so high that people aren't procreating. I feel like that's important. You can't love your race and not want to you can love your race and not procreate. You can love it. But if you do love your people, you got to procreate, man. That God didn't give us, if you believe in God, God didn't give us that attribute for nothing, to be able to create life. I feel like that's important, man. And, he made some more statements on this episode too, and it was kind of personal what he was saying. He was talking about parenting and what needs to be done with parenting boys. Him and Michelle don't even have boys, but they talking about what needs to be done while parenting boys. Let's get to
that. Many mothers are parenting alone, which is a huge problem. I think Scott Galloway, there are other researchers out there who say that one of the challenges that boys face is that there just aren't enough men in their lives. The men have disappeared, whether through divorce or fatherhood. There are small numbers of male teachers in high schools. Boys are growing up in an education system where they're mostly surrounded by women. Right. Barack, you've talked about the fact that the entire education system isn't even designed to recognize boys and what they need. So, what do we say to Emma? Because again, we don't know whether she's parenting alone or whether she has a husband. But I do think that mothers struggle to figure out what do their sons need. And so they wind up operating out of their own fears and their own instincts, which is to love unconditionally. I think mom was like this. She raised me to be tough because I think she knew what it was like to be a woman. In her mind, she knew what she was preparing me for. The insults, the limitations, the whatever you can think of, the sexism, the biases. So she knew you have to have a mouth. You have to be able to speak up for yourself. With you, she wanted you to be nice so that you wouldn't get in trouble or you wouldn't get arrested. But was that who you were? So what do we say to the Emmas of the world? How do we sort of start thinking as a society about helping mothers raise sons because they're doing it alone, and we're being told that we don't have what it takes to give boys all of what they need.
Well, look, I think you started hinting at it. As somebody who was raised by a single mom, not perfectly, but that unconditional love as a start is the right one. Mm-hmm. I do think, though, thinking about raising boys in the same way you're thinking about raising daughters, which is how do you make them good, responsible people who know how to function and know how to understand themselves well enough that they can navigate this really complicated world, and setting high expectations. So there are a lot of these things that apply to boys and girls. I do think that there are some particular issues with boys that as a society we're not addressing. I do think as a society we have to create more structures for boys and men to have guidance, rituals, frameworks, encouragement, to be able to meet a wide range of role models so that whatever their inclinations, they can see a path to success that isn't just sports or money, making a lot of money. And so that's on all of us together. What I would say to Emma would be, in your community, even if you have a wonderful male partner who's in the house, I think it still would be good to find assets in the community, people in the community, friends in your community, places of worship, community organizations, what have you, where there are a bunch of men.
I'm going to just give y'all my perspective on family structure and, parenting structure. I'm not a parent, but I see things. I intertwine with people that's parents. I communicate with people who've made decisions that they feel as if they regret because they may have created life with a person that they wish they would have thought before they did that. To me, the strength of a country is when you see families. The strength of a family, when the family is together. That's the strength of the whole of the country should be built around family structure. A husband, a wife, the kids. When you see a big family, a family reunion, when you see family going out to eat, a family-owned business, when you see family structure, that creates a structure of you can depend on somebody instead of needing to depend on the government, to depend on a job, to depend on anything. When you got the cousin, the uncle, the grandmama, the great-grandmama, the granddaddy, the daddy, my cousin's daddy, I can ask him for assistance if I need it. Just that shows the strength of a country, to me, family structure. Now, when you don't incentivize, I feel like you should incentivize people for creating life instead of criminalize them. Let's think about that for a minute. Like, what's your thoughts about that in the comment section? I need your thoughts on that right there in the comment section. Should America incentivize family structure instead of criminalizing it? Because if you are not financially stable, right? So you got a choice to make, decisions to make. If you're not financially stable, they telling you you'll be punished for having sex. Because if you create life and I have to assist you with this creation that you just created, and I have to give you government assistance, then the father can't be in the home. So I'm punishing creation instead of incentivizing it. You doing what's right. Both of y'all go get a job. Both of y'all contribute to society, and I incentivize you. I might give you some money. I might pay for this. I might pay for that, and give you $100,000 extra to, You know what I'm saying? Or create some sort of way to incentivize people for having children instead of punishing them. We punish people for wanting to go further their education by creating a debt structure, giving you loans for a couple of $100,000 to go to school. We punish people in America for doing what's right. So that's interesting to me that they saying what they saying. I like that Barack Obama said that, you know, you need to know who you are. Knowledge of self. Because knowledge of self will make you aware of what you can, what you will, what you won't accept. So I agree with that statement, though. But this was just an interesting conversation, man, because they spoke about boys a lot and homosexuality a lot. And I feel like homosexuality shouldn't be that put on a pedestal like that, though. But it is what it is, man. And they had a great conversation. I seen that it went viral and everything, though. But I would like to further the discussion in the comment section below with y'all, man. That was just an interesting take. Let me get on into the next topic of discussion, man. We're going to go into hip-hop. We're going to go into podcasting. We're going to go into the 85 South Boys, DC Young Fly. He was on Rory and Maul's show, and he talked about Rick Ross' appearance on their show. And I was tripping off of this because, you know, I remember when Rick Ross walked off of that show. And when he walked off of that show, I felt like it was nasty, man. It was just nasty. You know, Rick Ross is a hell of an artist. He has collaborated with Jay-Z, collaborated with Nas. He got some of the best production in the game. His car show coming up soon, too, though. But he do a lot, and the South, you know, supports him a lot. People support Rick Ross. The streets support Rick Ross. And I don't feel like he really street. But let's get into the conversation.
Ross, I feel like you probably one of the best lyricists from the South that we got. You dig what I'm saying? Like, you poetic, bro. When I listen to your music, I think you put a lot of time and effort into this shit. Yeah. So I'm listening to your shit. Not only that, nigga, I fuck with everything you do, nigga. Yeah. You fuck with Wingstop, I'm going to fuck with Wingstop.
Like you said, y'all had chips, y'all had everything.
I'm going to fuck with you. Got a book, nigga. We going to buy all this ain't promo marketing like your PR team and came and brought all this shit around.
This was here.
This shit was set up so you can see we rock with you. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, do you owe us an explanation? No.
Right.
But as niggas who fuck with you, I think it's just something to say, hey, man, just a little respect to be like, hey, man, this is what I got to go. This is what I got going on. Let me whoop. I can respect that. That's cool. This is when it get insulting. Because we the type of people that will never bring up nothing that we feel like that can be diminished to your career or anything, nigga, because we some real niggas.
Yeah.
The moment you leave our show, you went and did a podcast, a white podcast. You sat your ass right there for almost 2 hours.
And didn't leave.
And you talk. And the white folk asked your ass, was you a fucking correctional officer?
Yeah.
We would have never asked you no shit like that, nigga, because we got respect for you.
Right.
And you sat right there and you answered that question so eloquently.
Right.
Eloquently,
right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even disrespectful.
Yeah.
And then I get to sit back and watch that shit and be like, damn, what's the difference between them and us?
Okay.
Now I feel disrespected.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like, damn, that nigga as a man, my nigga, come on. Don't say money.
Right.
We got it.
Right.
You got it.
Right.
But nigga, we fuck with you, bro. Mm-hmm. Don't do us like that. And it's still love, but nigga, don't do us like that.
I respect that. I respect that.
They for me was when the Trevor Jackson Podcast.
You know what's the problem with that, my opinion? Salute to the 85 South Boys. But what's the problem with that is that when he started the conversation off, right, he said, we support everything you do. You know, we buy your books. We listen to your music. We support Wingstop. They had all the trinkets and things laid out during the show when Rick Ross supposed to came. But you know, and we wouldn't have even asked you the question about you being a correctional officer because we respect you. You know, this is respectful. You know, most of the time when black folks say, I'm trying to be respectful, they about to get into the disrespect. So this is respectful, what I'm about to say. We can't be condoning people that aren't really participating in the culture. And when I say that, I say people that haven't really participated in what they're promoting, what they're talking about, what they're engaging in. If you really was a hustler and you're not just portraying an image, you wouldn't have never stole the real Rick Ross name. If you was really street and talking about these bricks and all of this old type of stuff that you're doing, you wouldn't have never been a correctional officer. You would have been in the street. It's a lot of people that accept that, and it's a lot of street dudes that accept it because it's a benefit to it. I don't want you on my platform, nigga. You ain't authentic. I might get 10 million views for having you on the platform. I might get 1 million views for having you on the platform, but you ain't authentic. And I can't act like because I want to receive something on the back end that you are. And that's what the 85 South boys did. Now they disgruntled because they really see he is who people said he was. A person that's not authentic. You can't be mad now, dog. Rick Ross responds.
Listen, man, I came to your podcast. I came for free, homie, no charge. I did it on Face, homie. I didn't ask you what your analytics was and this and that. I came on Face, homie, to show love. And don't make it like I walked off on you. I left early. Rose had some other things to do too. But guess what? I came for free. I wasted that nice ass Gucci jacket on that look, man. I couldn't even really wear my Gucci jacket again. But I did it for love. And next time I come for free, at least have me some lemon pepper wing stop like that. You heard me? But I came for free. I ain't charging you. You feel me? Don't talk about Rose other business. I came and did that for free. And what is the analytics? How the show doing anyway, man? I'll come back on it, and when I'm going to walk off that the next time, and this bitch say, Rose, was I been? Of course not. You know when it's time to go. When it ain't no more chicken wings, man. They smoking, man.
I'm going to tell y'all something, too, though, before I play. Because DC Young Fly, before I got on the podcast, I had to create another clip because he responded. You know, I want to say something. The game is so ass backwards for how, you know, I'm an 80s baby, how I grew up when people was embracing authenticity. People was embracing, like, integrity and keeping it real. Like, everything is about traction and attention and analytics and the algorithm now. So fake niggas is winning. Fake emotional individuals is winning, and it's crazy. It's just crazy. They get the most, they profit off of entertaining people that get emotional about the things that they do. Because y'all attracted to that. People get to fight and get to shooting, killing people, they get a record deal. People get to acting crazy, they get opportunity. People say things that they really don't mean, they'll be on the Tonight Show. They will be on the PBD Podcast. We have created a world where speaking outlandish is entertaining. That's why we got people like Charleston White. And I'm about to get into that conversation after this, the Charleston White conversation on the PBD Podcast. But it's just, to me, folks embrace foolishness. We got a president now that's an entertainer. No disrespect to Trump. I like some of the things that Trump do. And what did I say in the middle of the podcast before I got on? I don't agree with nobody. So I don't agree with nobody in totality, so I don't pick sides. I know who I am. But DC Young Fly, he responded to Rick Ross talking crazy like that. And to me, Rick Ross is an unauthentic individual. That's all I can say.
Ross, big homie. First of all, you know it love. Second of all, I got to call a spade when it's a spade. You say you did it for free. Everybody do it for free, Ross. You ain't the only nigga. Boosie did it for free. T.I. do it for free. Nigga Busta Rhymes did it for free. Nigga Snoop Dogg did it for free. Everybody who sat on that couch do it for free. Now, that wasn't the biggest moment. Now, that's one of the viral moments, but Boosie episode 8 million. Got Country Wayne shit like 6-7 million. Like, we do numbers. We do analytics. Our analytics. We was the biggest before you came, and we was the biggest afterwards. So you always got room to come back to be on the biggest podcast in the world, Craig. You dig what I'm saying? But when you call a spade, it get hot. And where you gotta go to cool off? I'm going to talk to my little homie DC in the pool because it's hot. I got to get in the pool because it's too hot outside. And August 2nd, y'all make sure y'all go to his pool party. Cause I'm not gonna be there. But you said I was gonna be there, Ross. But that's false advertising. I didn't say give me a check. But get the free promo, nigga, cause we family. Push up to his pool party. Y'all push up, cause I'm gonna be in Philadelphia telling these jokes. But everybody can get some money. Push up to the pool party. But Ross, don't do that. And the jacket, nigga. You wore the jacket for no reason. Well, let me buy that motherfucking Gucci jacket up off you then. So I can tell my son, I bought this from a nigga who left. He said that he wore it for no reason. It was a waste. So since we didn't pay you, I'm going to pay you for the Gucci jacket. Because if I give you some money, I'm going to want something. Give me that jacket. Since you want some money. But you know we love you, nigga. Push up again. And you said something about the wings. Make sure we had the wings. If your ass would have stayed, you would have knew we had 200 of them goddamn Wingstop.
You know, this shit all entertainment, man. Real talk. Everything is entertainment. I'm just here to interact and interject with some of the dumb shit that's going on. To be honest with you, you see, the first thing he said, you know, it's still love. When people say that, they about to get to the disrespect, but I don't think this is nothing disrespectful. I think that it's just entertainment. Like, fake shit get embraced nowadays. And if you take things too seriously, you'll never get an opportunity. If you always trying to counsel somebody or say that these niggas doing this or being in your feelings about everything, you won't even get an opportunity because you too principled. You got too many morals, man. So if you like that, you got to get like me and create your own platform and do things on your own. Real talk, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Real spill, man. Hit that like button to help me trigger the algorithm on this episode like I did the last time, man. Thank you so much. So I think this came out Friday. Yeah, Friday on the PBD Podcast. I was listening. I watched the PBD Podcast. I'm subscribed to them too, man. They did a great job around election time when they did the big shindig, the big live that was like 6 to 8 hours. And I appreciate the content. They've been doing a lot though, but you know, I was shocked that a political, you know, a place that talks about politics and government a lot had Charleston White on. I think this may be his biggest episode, and I think this may be their biggest episode. But I took some clips from it because it was some things that stood out to me that was being said on this episode. And this is the first clip.
You have here.
Yeah.
Tell me what you like about Putin.
Oh, I like Putin because everybody ain't in Russia. I like Kim Jong because everybody ain't in North Korea. North Korea is about North Korea. Russia is about Russian. America is not about Americans.
America is about what?
Other people's interests. That's why we send money over there. That's why they can come over here and get loans that the average American citizen can't get credit loans. They can come over here and get rights that your blacks have never gotten. You got an Asian hate bill. How that happened? For your black people got them some kind of bill that protects them because they're the #1 people who die of gun violence. I ever see some kind of protection around black people because they are dying at a rate almost like the pandemic.
What's the top cause of blacks dying?
Poverty, single parent homes, and the culture. So I wouldn't say the culture. We have a subculture that has superseded our culture. It's a subculture that have superseded the original culture of black people.
Tell me more.
Black people have always pursued education to get out. It was never about sports. So now you got a sports guy who can have an ability to get his education, but he'll leave soon just to go get the money and be broke 5 years after he leaves, statistically wise, without the education. Guess what? He ended up in prison.
That was interesting what he said about sports, because we see a lot of these individuals make a lot of money from sports, but they be broke right after they leave the league, or their spending habits is $1 million a year on their body, or $100,000 a month and all of this. And once you stop making that amount of money, it's over for you. You'll be broke in 5 years, because that's an unrealistic spending habit. And that keeps the economy afloat when you have big spenders like that. But I want to start from the top with what he said. He said he liked Putin. He liked Kim Jong-un because they prioritize their own. I can say that I don't know what they do over there, because I've never been to Russia or I've never been to Korea. So I don't know what it's like over there. But I do know in America, we don't prioritize our own. And what's an example of that is the Democratic Party these last 4 years with the Biden administration, when they let all the migrants into the country. When they was just recently in LA too, man. I didn't even do no content on this though, but Mayor Bass and the governor of California talked about giving away finances, $50,000 to people that is illegal. That was blasphemous to me when I seen that. And we don't prioritize our own, man. We look at our own as ops. You know, I don't know how Caucasians in the government would look at people that is their own just because of a difference of skin tone. You know, Americans are Americans. The white Americans and the black Americans are damn near the same in a lot of aspects. I know I might get killed for that statement, but are the same in a lot of aspects except skin color. When we see people that migrate here from other countries and things, they don't have the same ideology and perspectives as us in America. I'm an American. I don't know nothing about Africa. I know people that I'm connected to may have roots to Africa or whatever though, but my family is foundational to America. The last 3 to 4 to 5 generations is foundational to America. So I'm not African American. I'm American, man. Real talk. A lot of people in the black community is starting to say that they're FBA, foundational black American. But I just want to say that I'm American, man. I'm not black or white, because I understand that black and white is a social construct. It's just a conversation. It's not even a reality. So America doesn't prioritize self. That's crazy that Charleston White would say that, because a lot of things that Charleston White say, it seems like it makes people disgruntled and they don't like what he be talking about though. But he was right though, because it's capitalism over humanity. People prioritize finances over the human being's experience, and it's noticeable if you really paying attention. Now, like I said before I played the clip with Obama and Michelle, that nobody on this planet I agree with in totality. And I'm going to say it here. I disagree with people a lot, and I agree with some things that people say. But this is something that I heard from this podcast that Charleston White said that I disagree with.
Well, look it. It's a rape culture.
Rape culture?
Yeah, hip-hop is a rape culture.
Tell me about it.
I put a Molly in her drink, and she ain't even know it. Me and my homies like to play this game. Some call it Amtrak, but some call it the train. We all would line up in a single file line and take our turns waxing girls' behinds. Every time it get to me, I was out of luck because I stick my end and it would get stuck. The girl will say stop, I say I'm not. The girl will say stop, I say I'm not. But we dance to it. There's another song. I take her back to the trap. I gave her a perk, and she ain't even know it. Then she dropped her panties. So when we watch the frat parties, what was that, Porky's Revenge? Hey, that's Spike the Punch. The girls don't know the Spike's Sponge. When we see a bunch of girls, hey, baby, let me get you a drink. Come over, let's have some drink. Drink to do what? And have sex. That's coercion. She has to have a sober mind. So that's our culture.
How did it happen?
How Hollywood, entertainment. They
because it didn't
they
used to be
romanticize
like that.
Now they romanticize it.
When you see the videos of back in the days, African American families, suits, the way they dressed, clean, solid, strong. What got into that? You're saying purely it's hip hop and movies?
A group of teenagers that became a phenomenon, like the Beatles.
You know, I can say that hip hop is influential. Movies are influential. They do promote a culture that is dysfunctional, but they financed it to people that have limited resources and do whatever they have to do to obtain those finances. The people with the limited resources. Now, when he said our culture, I kind of disagree with that, because you don't have to identify with that culture. You may get scrutinized for not identifying what people think that you should identify with because you're black. But something that is like really transforming my mind in this period of time in the life that I'm living is the word identity and identifying. Because, you know, you don't have to identify as nothing. A lot of people will want you to be a part of their organization, their gang, their political group, their crew, their sorority, their fraternity. They will want you to be a part of what they got going on structurally. But you got to know who you are. You got to identify with who you are. You can't identify with what people want you to identify with. So I can say that the culture that he is talking about, I've heard it, I've listened to it, I've embraced it at times. But now the hip hop that I embrace is more of a conscious hip hop. And I'm more of a conscious individual. I listen to a lot of artists. I listen to Nas. I listen to Clips as of recently. I listen to Kendrick, Cole, Wale. You know, I really don't listen to sexual music or low vibrational rap, demonic rap, dark, frustrated, miserable rap, because hip hop is a frequency that can control you. It can alter your mood. You can listen to some raw wave and be sad one moment. You can listen to some Big X the Plug and get excited. You can listen to some Future and want to turn up. It alters moods. It has energy. So at the end of the day, I would just say, man, become knowledgeable of who you are, man. Don't let the culture take over you, even though the culture and hip hop is in a dark space. I would say that. I would say that it can be influential to decision making. Now I'm going to get into something controversial, he said, then we're going to move the conversation along. We're going to get into the Shannon Sharpe topic, but I want to get into this first.
Planned Parenthood is our new Hitler, our new Nazi group that's exterminating strictly black people, because the founder of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, said this is solely to eradicate, eugenics, to eradicate black babies. Why we still got it hanging around? It does nothing but abort babies. Most women who need prenatal care don't go there. Most black women don't even get prenatal care. They don't even know they're pregnant till 4 months in. Still high on drugs they were partying off of. So now Planned Parenthood should be banned. I was going to say something inflammatory, but no, it should be banned because it serves no purpose and no justice to the community it claims it's serving.
Why do you think it's gotten as big as it's gotten? Who's supporting it? Because the way it's sold in a way that, you know, women's rights, it's good for women, and they have a pro-choice.
Man, you know how many, you know how much stem cells they get to collect? Man, yeah, they get the whole new forms of life from these aborted embryos and fetuses. They get to do tests like lab rats on humans with no oversight. We don't know what they do with those bodies, those babies. So there's no oversight, really. They get to do what they want to do. But the originator, Margaret Sanger, this was never set up to be something good. So how can you change anything's original design if you can't go back and change the design? Why abort the babies? Why not try to find the daddy? Y'all come together, get him some resources to breathe life and keep life instead of take life.
You know, when he was speaking, I was thinking about something. You know, I'm not too well versed on the Planned Parenthood conversation, but I'm a person, and my platform is a platform for learning. So I want to be a person of substance. I would like for y'all to get in the comment section and educate me on y'all thoughts on Planned Parenthood. But when I think about, you know, the United States being a country that's supposed to be a country that abide by biblical rules and Christianity rules, God gave us the opportunity to create life. Why are we prioritizing like hurting life, not creating life? Just because we have some scientific way, we take life away. You know, just because people want to have sex with the same type of sex, that doesn't create life. When God gave us the opportunity, we give people the rules and the regulations and the opportunity to live a great life in the LGBTQ community. But I don't think that we need to prioritize a sexual thing. Like, you know, it was a time in my world where like we wasn't on these cameras talking. This is like a privilege. People was worried about their next meal, their next finance, where they was going to get their finances from. People wasn't having discussions about sex and who can have sex with who and all of this old dumb shit. And taking a life, Planned Parenthood, it's just interesting that that's even a topic of discussion, to be honest with y'all, man. I was going to read the definition of Planned Parenthood, but I'm going to keep it moving, man. We get ready to take a break in the podcast. We almost an hour in. I want y'all to hear another one of my records, man. Since I'm highlighting me, we having a discussion. We creating more long-form content, man. Appreciate y'all. Check out this record, man. Let's get to it.
If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. I had to get me something. I came up from nothing. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. I had to get me something. I came up from nothing. I had to change my mental, upgrade my credentials. How a nigga came up, it wasn't accidental. Now monumental, more like legendary. A player never worry, bumping pop, Hail Mary, trapped off a Blackberry. Ain't contrary to your belief. I made it at them streets, don't acknowledge beef. Kept the play discreet, we too unique. On the winning streak, spent a couple racks at the boutique. I wouldn't change nothing, I'm always me. Never took a plea, nigga, you a flea. I'm your OG's OG. He called me for inspiration. Need a consultation, just make the payment for the conversation. If it's elevation or innovation, my expectation ain't limitation. You need a demonstration. My track record and reputation should be admiration. That's confirmation. I'm decoration for the trenches, off the benches, jump the fences, no penny pinching. We off the hinges. Hit the shot, my team winning. The series clinched it. You niggas finished. Never timid. I've been a menace. No old dog, and every day is printed. Haters living 'cause my life changed. Should be happy, but you a real lame. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. I had to get me something. I came up from nothing. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. I had to get me something. I came up from nothing. My lifestyle been kinda wild. Grew a real foul, but mama proud. Seen a young child take off his style. Wavy nigga, no new now. When they hate, I kept a smile. But meanwhile, I'm stacking piles. Beef, we don't reconcile. My grind, yeah, it's versatile. Run the game like no lies. New Audi with 0 miles. Been a baller since a juvenile. Never was I in denial. May have fell off for a while, but I'm back at it, didn't change up. Got my change up, kept my chin up for the come up at the Queen's Cup. Never linked up, they washed up. I got more paper than a Brinks truck. They think it's luck, but I don't get no fucks. I wouldn't change much, I've been clutch. Can't be touched, I'm a made man. See the haters through the Ray-Bans. Never drop locations, never made no statements, never did no hating. That ain't what I'm on, dawg. Beat the odds and every day I ball. To the top I crawl, y'all. And you can bet I won't ever fall off. Cause it's prime time like I'm Dion. It was grind time on you peons. And I'm living fine and won't rewind.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.
Hey, man, I hope y'all enjoyed that record, man. It's in the playlist section of the releases on the channel if you want to check that out, man. That is the first record off It Was All a Dream, the EP, because that was a special EP to me. That's when I felt as if my vocabulary had got more large, man. I felt as if, earlier in my rap career, I didn't have much to say. And that's not a bad thing, though, because I was speaking my experiences and the things that I could see around me, and that was personable to me at that time. But as you age or whatever and looking at the clips, looking at Raekwon, looking at Slick Rick, looking at Ghostface and all of these artists age and their vocabulary expanding and listening to their music, it's a great thing to see. It's a great thing to acknowledge and be aware of. And to be honest with y'all, man, I'm going to continue to record. I'm going to keep recording. I got a studio session booked for September the 30th. I want to invite family members and friends and other artists to contribute to the record. And I think it may be, something special. Real talk, something special, something unique. I want to get into a conversation, though. We covered Shannon Sharpe on the channel and the allegations and the charges and the things that he had said when Tony Busby, the person who had put civil lawsuits on Diddy, civil lawsuits on Jay-Z, came and, aggressively put these lawsuits on Shannon Sharpe. So Shannon Sharpe is the only one that has lost to Tony Busby. Vlad TV checked Tony Busby on Piers Morgan platform as of recently and said, you haven't won a lawsuit yet, but Shannon Sharpe settled. So I'm going to read the article. This is according to ESPN. We're going to get right into it, man. Lawsuit accusing Shannon Sharpe of sexual assault settled, lawyer says. Pro Football Hall of Fame member Shannon Sharpe has resolved the lawsuit that accused him of sexually assaulting a woman during the relationship. Her attorney said Friday, all matters have now been addressed satisfactorily, and the matter is closed. The lawsuit will thus be dismissed with prejudice, Tony Busby said on X, meaning the suit can't be refiled. No details were released. The lawsuit filed under the pseudonym Jane Doe had sought $50 million. Sharpe called the allegations false and disruptive when the lawsuit was filed in April in Clark County, Nevada. He stepped away from work at ESPN on April 24th, but had pledged to return by the start of the NFL season. I'm going to keep reading this, but I want to converse for a minute, though, because, when these things first came out, Shannon Sharpe looked very distraught, but he kept going with his platform. And he kept going with his YouTube channel with Nightcap and Club Shay Shay and all of that. Shannon Sharpe was on a high after the Cat Williams interview, making money and, doing his thing in media. It seemed like he was the highest sports analyst in the game. And Stephen A. Smith had seemed jealous at the moment. So, the powers that be who create these platforms that give this talent, this opportunity, seems as if they had to shut them down. But, to me, niggas that lose it all to the horny and lose it all behind physical attraction for any person at the end of the day, they deserve to lose it all. Real talk. You shouldn't be, out here, doing too much, nigga. For you're almost 60 and you out here tricking on a young Becky like that. Let me get back into the conversation. Reading this ESPN. This is according to ESPN again. A phone message seeking comment from Sharpe's attorney, David Chesnoff, wasn't immediately returned Friday. The woman first met Sharpe at the gym in Los Angeles in 2023 when she was 20. And nearly 2-year relationship followed, according to the lawsuit. Sharpe, 57, was accused of R-wording the woman in October 2024 and in January. Both sides acknowledge a long-term consensual and tumultuous relationship, said Busby, who also represented a number of women who filed suit against Cleveland quarterback Deshaun Watson. Oh, man, I got to stop again, y'all. I got to stop right here because if y'all remember, on one of the platforms, I think it was on Undisputed when he was with Skip Bayless, he was talking bad about Deshaun Watson. Y'all remember that? When he was talking about how Deshaun Watson shouldn't have made that decision. He was doing this and that in Texas with them girls, and he done ended up losing it all. That was nasty, Club Shay Shay. And now you doing the same thing out here with Becky, a 20-year-old Becky. You know, I'm going to play something for y'all right quick because this is interesting. And I'm going to continue reading the article because, you know, this is a little easy.
My daughter's a budget. You got a budget. I don't get whatever you do after that.
What number? I mean, I don't want to be in your business, but what number you said?
30,000.
Okay. So you can have a wedding with 30,000?
I don't know what you can have. I ain't the one getting married. I don't give a damn. Hey, they better go get one of them. Hey, y'all from the South, y'all know about that fried catfish and spaghetti plate. Hey, I know somebody hooked that thing right on up. What they charge by the plate? $10.50 a head. Spaghetti, fried catfish, a piece of cornbread, and a styrofoam cup of sweet tea. That's all you're getting.
You know, man, I done said it on every clip of this episode. I agree with some things that people do, and I disagree with a lot of things that other people do. I can't agree with it's not one individual that I agree with in totality. You know, you done came up off of millions to this girl for lust and pleasure. But you couldn't give you wouldn't want to give your daughter more than 30,000. He could have been trolling and playing 30,000 for a wedding. An experience that that should be priceless for you. Seeing your seed get married or seeing your seed commit to somebody for life is priceless. But you ended up paying this Becky 10, 15, 20. If I assumed, I'd say it's 20 million. That's an assumption. That's not something that I do know because the lawsuit, the facts haven't been brought out or broke down yet, though. But I assume he spent 20 million. But he was complaining about giving his daughter $30K for the wedding when an average wedding costs 70 bands minimum nowadays. The ones that the woman really want to have, like if they want to have their family there, the husband family there, the big cake, the dancing, the music, the dress gonna cost 5 racks nowadays, man. It's just that a wedding is something that is pricey, to be honest with you. And one-time experience that is gonna last with you for your whole life, and you saying you don't want to spend no more than 30K on it is bullshit when you spending all this money on this Becky. Real talk. Let's get back into the reading the article though. After protracting and respectful negotiations, I'm pleased to announce that we have reached a mutual agreement upon resolution. Sharpe was a 4-time All-Pro tight end who played on 2 Super Bowl winning teams with Denver and 1 with Baltimore. After 14 seasons from 1990 to 2003, he was voted into the Pro Bowl Hall of Fame in 2011. He retired as NFL's all-time leading among tight ends and receptions. I don't want to read his statistics. I don't even want to read that, you know. This lawsuit and everything that I had been reading was according to ESPN, though. The lawsuit has been settled. We're going to move further along in the conversation, though. But Shannon Sharpe settled the lawsuit, and I want to ask y'all a question before I move forward and get into another topic of discussion. Is this an admission of guilt? When people settle lawsuits, is that an admission to guilt? Help me out in the comment section. I would really like to know that, man. I would really like to know y'all perspective on, is that an admission of guilt? Now, we're going to keep it in the sports realm. You know, Roy Jones Jr. was one of the greatest boxers to me of all time. And not, you know, by his boxing skills, just by his entertaining skills. He was very entertaining. So he called out Floyd. We get ready to get into this conversation of matches that supposed to be happening. And right now, as I'm speaking, Pacquiao fighting. I want to know who winning that fight too, though, because he old school. He's still at it, and I want to know. But Roy Jones Jr. recently spoke on Floyd Mayweather. Let's get into the clip and further the discussion. Let's go.
Is Floyd Mayweather top 5?
No, not in my book. No,
not even top 10.
Maybe top 10 in my book, yeah, but not top 5.
10.
He's maybe top 10, but not top 5. Floyd can fight. Don't get it wrong. Floyd can fight. But here's what my problem is. Well, I understand. I know you're a Floyd fan. Yeah. But here's my problem. Who did Floyd fight that was on his level when he fought him? Only Canelo. That's it. Don't give me that stuff about the other guy that was going to prison. He know he going to prison when he get through. No. And then to take it even further,
he fought Cotto.
Cotto was not on his level. Wait. See, stop. Let me finish first. Cotto.
You asked me a question. That's the only way I said it.
Cotto already was done. And Cotto an all-time great? No. Cotto's an all-time Puerto Rican great. Cotto's not an all-time great in boxing.
I agree with you.
He's an all-time Puerto Rican great.
I agree. All right,
so that's not a great fight. That's not on your level. Who else? Pacquiao. You waited till Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez before you fought him. If you'd have fought him 4 years ago, it'd have been something. Because both of y'all were here. We'd have found out who the best was. You waited till Marquez knocked him out, now you fought him. If I wait till somebody beat James Toney before I fight him, do I get credit for being the greatest fighter of all time because I beat James Toney?
No, you don't.
No, I don't. So my point is, you didn't do it the right way. You know that. Who else did you fight besides them best 2 names you can pull up besides Canelo?
What I'm saying is that who do you think around that time would have even beaten Floyd that he didn't fight?
So my point is, I'm not going to say who
because I can't name a person.
I'm not going to say who would have beat Floyd. Like I said, I'm just saying Floyd never fought nobody that was of his equal. He didn't fight a James Toney. He didn't go looking for a James Toney. He fought Shane Mosley at 38 years old, and it still was a good fight while he left. Shane almost took him out at 38. He fought Oscar De La Hoya at an old age, and we still ain't sure, if you go look at the fight, I still ain't sure who won that fight.
That was a close fight.
Close fight. But this is an old Oscar De La Hoya. Wait. This is an old Oscar De La Hoya. Right. If you were all-time great, Oscar De La Hoya didn't do that when he fought did he fight Chavez? Yeah. He beat him. Now Oscar De La Hoya did struggle when he fought Pernell, because I'm not sure he won that fight.
Yeah, I got Pernell on that.
But he came back though, and fought bigger fights. He fought everybody he could have fought.
Oscar fought everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
Oscar fought everybody.
Pacquiao fought everybody.
Yeah.
At his time.
Could it be this? Could it be that Floyd didn't have an equal?
He did.
He
did.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait, stop. What's the guy named in the wheelchair right now?
Paul Williams.
He could have fought him.
I don't think he would have beat him.
I ain't say that. I say he could have fought him, though.
He didn't.
You don't think? Hey, in my opinion, the only person that really had a chance in his weight class back then was Amir Khan. He wasn't touching Amir Khan. At the time, Amir had too good a feet. He wasn't fighting Amir Khan.
Amir was calling him out for years.
He wasn't fighting Amir Khan. Amir Khan had too good a feet. I already know this.
I just don't think he would have beat Floyd.
I ain't saying you don't know.
He was fast. He was knocking people out.
You don't understand boxing like I do, though. Who Floyd was knocking out? Besides
at that time, nobody.
That's it.
Yeah.
So.
You know, I could let him cook. I could let him continue on because he kept speaking and he said some profound things. He even said that he would beat Floyd in the ring, even though I don't think, I celebrate everything that old niggas do in sports and hip hop, and I don't want to see old niggas fight though. That's one thing I don't want to see is old niggas fight. But to be honest with you, I'm gonna tell y'all, in my lifetime, I'm 45 years old, the best boxers that I ever seen. Mike Tyson was the most entertaining, knocking niggas face off at the time when I seen him. You know, I didn't get to see Muhammad Ali, but behind what I've read and what I've heard him say and listening to him in interviews, he was the most prolific and he was the greatest of all time. I just would have to say that. But Floyd Mayweather is the best ever. just like the hats that he promote, and just like the chain that he got, and the things that he says about himself, and the affirmations that he speak. Because to make it out the ring healthy after 50 fights, almost $1 billion up financially, even though people say that he isn't behind those investments in New York City that they recently said he got finessed out of the real estate that he bought in Manhattan. It's that, to me, people always criticize Floyd off of the fights that he pick and chose. But when he fought, he was whooping ass. Majority of the time that I watched fights in my life, and I went and got fresh and was stunting and went and had a great time at a bar, especially in my hometown when I was in Tennessee, man. I used to pull up to the dang on Bailey's Bar and Lounge, the pool hall and all of that, and watch Floyd fights. We used to rent the whole place out and have a ball and watch them fights. But what I want to say is that to make it out, to remain healthy, to not have no brain issues, and to be up financially, I don't care who you fought, man. If you ain't top 5 to me, I don't care if I'm not even rated to you, dog. I'm up. I won. The people who you will perceive to be as the best fighter, they broke, they hurt, their brain ain't acting right. That's not winning. That's not winning, Roy. And to be honest with you, we seen you get your ass whooped by Mike Tyson. I feel like this is a stunt and Roy is just trying to get a bag. But I want to get into the real conversation because we want to see these females in the ring. Laila Ali, she was just interviewed. I think it's Fight something, fighthype.com or Fight Hype on YouTube or whatever. And she was asked, would she get back into the ring? And we know she's undefeated also. This is the greatest of all time daughter, the GOAT's daughter, Muhammad Ali. And she had this
angles. Every angle is good with you. Okay, this is Johnny Boy with Fight Hype. I'm here with the legendary Laila Ali. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
What's your reaction to this fight?
The fight that we just saw, Katie versus Amanda. I think it started pretty slow. I think Katie won. Okay. Katie's a champ. You got to beat the champ, right? You got to decisively. And it started off slow, like I said. But I said before the fight that Katie needed to use her footwork, move around the ring, land her shots, and move. So we definitely didn't see as many shots as we saw in the first fight. But I think the cleaner shots were landed by Katie. She was controlling the pace of the fight. Amanda was trying to walk her down, just couldn't get there. And, it is what it is. So I think both of the ladies have so much to be proud of. They're both great warriors. And this was a big night for women's boxing. And hopefully it's just the beginning, and we won't have to be women anymore and just boxers, fighters, athletes. That's where I wanted to get.
Exactly. Now, hold on. Now, Alicia, she won tonight too. Who do you see winning that fight if they fight Katie Taylor?
Alicia and Katie Taylor? Yes. Styles make fights. Just like Alicia, I'm a big fan of. She's super talented. I didn't think this was her best showing tonight, and I think a lot of that was because she put so much pressure on herself to put on a great performance. She was waiting for that knockout. She didn't get into her rhythm, and she was in there with a scrappy girl who was using the ring. It was tough. And, she may have took her lightly. I don't know. I'm not in her head. But I'm sure she also doesn't feel that was her best performance, so she's going to need to go back, do some work before she gets in there with Katie Taylor.
What could Amanda done differently in this fight to secure a win?
Take off them Jordans.
They're too heavy,
Take off those Jordans. No. Amanda, I said...
You're not lying about that.
No, of course not. But what I said was that if Amanda was to win this fight, she needed to get closer to Katie, not wait for her to stop punching, punch at the same time, because Katie's so fast, she's going to be out of there. And she needed to cut the ring off, which she wasn't really doing. She was stepping ahead of her, but she's not really cutting the ring off. So when somebody's moving, there's a way to combat that, And I said if she got her hurt, that she needed to take control of that, but she didn't get that opportunity to get her hurt.
You feel like she threw a lot of, I don't know, I don't want to say it like in this way, but a lot of unnecessary punches because like Katie Taylor will be moving, and she'll throw a 1-2 every single time, but that 1-2 was going like straight, but what Amanda,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I know where you're going with it. We can easily pick either of them apart, right? But the thing is, I think Amanda was trying to just be busy because they don't want the audience to get bored. So you just try to move, look like you're doing more, get some points, try to find a rhythm, see if it's going to get Katie to do something different. She was just, what she was doing wasn't working, so she tried something else. I'm almost done, guys. Last question.
Yeah, Canelo Crawford, prediction on that.
I don't really want to give a prediction on that. I don't really know. I don't really know. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised either way. It's really hard to bet against Terrence in terms of his talent level, but he's also fighting someone who's bigger, who's stronger. I've never seen Terrence take a punch. Terrence knows if he can take a punch because he's probably faced everything in the gym. I just don't know. So I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo won by knockout, and I wouldn't be surprised if Terrence won on points.
Later, last one, Clarissa Shields. There's rumors that you're going to come back and fight her. What? Everybody's talking about it, or in the boxing circle.
The rumor that I heard was that I said that unless somebody had 15, 20 million, don't even call me about this. That's all.
Turkey has that money. Turkey's going to set this up. I know it.
Unless somebody calls me and says they have it, we're not even going to have a conversation. I'm not trying to come back and fight, but if someone offered that kind of money, I would actually have to think about it.
I'll talk to Turkey tonight.
Do I look like I can fight again?
Yes, you do.
Yeah. I think so too.
You look beautiful too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't want to see you in the ring, man, no more. If you got the finances to retire, go ahead and retire, man. But life is long, though, and $15 million is a lot of money. $15 million is not something to be shunned at, especially if y'all can fix it and make it an exhibition fight. We have to be aware that boxing has changed. It's real boxing and it's internet streaming boxing. Since this Logan Floyd guy has monetized boxing as an entertainment form. She's 47. Clarissa Shields is 30. I feel like when I was 30, 35, I felt invincible, in comparison to how I feel now at 45. I'm 2 years younger than Laila Ali. She's a female at that. The GWOAT, Papoose girlfriend, I think she's a different breed, man. I wouldn't get in the ring with her. I don't want to see Laila Ali hurt or whatever. But if they can construct it in a way that is entertaining and she can get a bag from it, go ahead and handle your business, man, and go ahead and get in that ring and fight and get that $15 million, man, and protect yourself. Real talk. So we get ready to get into this clip right here. Clarissa Shields responds.
Clarissa Shields, there's rumors that you're going to come back and fight her. What? Everybody's talking about it, or in the boxing circle.
The rumor that I heard was that I said that unless somebody had 15, 20 million, don't even call me about it.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what we like. Laila, I'm here with my team. I got great news for you. We got the 15 million. Let's make a fight between me and you, the best versus the best. The greats versus the greats. The GWOAT versus Muhammad Ali's daughter, Laila Ali. Let's make it happen. Mark, what else do we got?
Look, we have the two most prominent venues in this country. Cowboy Stadium, T-Mobile Arena, ready to go. They're extremely interested. We just have to finalize deals and dates with them. Most importantly, though, Ruben Branson, Win Records, thank you so much for supporting us, because that's what allows us to make this offer.
Thank you very much, Mark. Win Records' assignment was to bring forth $15 million. We have the $15 million for Laila. Let's make this fight happen.
That's what I'm talking about. So you saying we got the 15 million, we got the venue, and we got the dates. Now all we need is Laila Ali. Is we gonna make this fight happen or what? You asked for the 15 million and we delivered.
Laila, last one, Clarissa Shields. There's rumors that you're gonna come back and fight her. What?
Don't do it, Laila. Ask for 50 now. It came up with that too easy. The Cowboys Stadium, 100,000 seats. They trying to make $500 million off of you and give you 15 million. Don't do it, Laila. Don't do it. You're 47. Ask for 50. They don't want to give you 50. Fuck that shit, man. That 30-year-old girl, the way she knocking niggas out, she might knock me out. I get in that ring. Real talk, and I don't feel like I'm no wuss or whatever, but I wouldn't get in that ring. Unless we have to do some more constructing before I do that. But they put that together too quick. It ain't even been 24 hours and they put that deal together. She got a team together. She got her promoters together. People are ready to get to the money and to the business in America. America is a country that is about business. And I want to play this clip from Joe Budden Podcast because I want to get into this video Vixens boxing conversation that I thought was hilarious.
Numbers up.
She's a legend, Joe.
They stock up. Mel.
Yo.
How much I got to come out of pocket for the you and Superhead clash finally? Get it.
Ooh, that would be
where it need to
good.
be. I'll pay it.
I'll chip in.
Not
chip in
this
too.
month. But
I got
I'll pay
500.
it.
I'll chip in.
He said he got 500. You got 5K? Mel, how much? I'll pay for that. I'll pay for that.
How much, man?
And they just
don't say you ain't got no number. Everybody got a number out here. We all said
you know that's the pod lie,
right? No amount of money would have me come out of my character. Niggas just be saying shit. And the number don't be that high.
It don't be that high.
It'll make you niggas come out of
That's
character.
$7,500, man.
Niggas been beat up for free.
11K and a limousine.
And I'll let you stay there for the weekend, yo.
The old school limousine too.
Yeah, I'm straight shit.
And
the old school champagne.
Some bums or some shit.
We give you some Vouv Clico. Some Asti Spumante
in the town car. You good?
We get some Asti Spumante, man.
I really liked Asti Spumante.
I know, I
It
can
was some
tell.
good shit.
That's on brand.
Yeah, it was good.
How much, girl?
How much though for the 70 box?
How much
Yeah,
though?
come on, keep
you
it
talking
above.
about anything else?
I don't know. Let me marinate on that. I gotta think about that.
All right, they come to you right now.
Well, would you do it though?
And say here's $500K, 3 rounds, 2-minute rounds. We got you, old
No.
girl.
No. It's not enough.
Wait.
Repeat that, because I missed something.
I said if they come to her and say, look, we got $500K for you to do 3 rounds celebrity boxing.
The $500K is just for Mel.
And
they'll take care of your tennis elbow after the fight.
Well,
That is a hell of an incentive.
she might need some dental implants though.
Oh shit.
He of little motherfucking faith. Damn it.
Yeah.
She
changed
changed
names.
She changed. I said, Mike, I don't know between.
And
I
she
don't know.
worked
Sounds
out
like
and
going to
shit.
motherfucking jail.
Oh, from like beating people up?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But you just said 500,000 is not enough, Melly.
I did say that.
So what's the number though?
And you think you gonna win and you won't take the $500K?
He can give you $5,000.
Because
Put y'all put Superhead in the same room right here. Superhead cash.
Remove the table. Patreon exclusive.
Patreon live.
I think Mel.
Oh yeah, live streaming.
Live stream.
I
There we
think
go.
Mel get
We
it.
out
And you can wear that little helmet shit.
Oh shit! I think Mel get a quick 40 piece.
You guys are
I'm about to say, I'll
tripping.
give him 40K.
She is a master marketer. She would never.
No, we're not talking about
That's
her. We're
different.
talking about you.
She already
He's
agreed.
talking about she beat
Yeah, but
your
she with it, though.
$500,000
I spoke to her
table.
already. Don't
She
worry
with
about
it.
her. I spoke to her.
She said she'll do it for
She's
free.
with it.
She'll do it for free.
She's
Right.
cool.
She just want to do it anyway.
Let's go, Joe.
Yeah, I already.
You're full of shit.
Bird called me already.
You know, that's interesting. I just wanted to play that clip for y'all because they was talking about the same things that I was talking about, having a conversation about boxing and the direction that boxing is going. And I'm excited for the Clarence and the Canelo fight. I gotta go somewhere and see that. I really don't like paying for fights and watching them at home though. I would rather be out and about and with the people and the public watching the fight because I love boxing, to be honest with you though. But I feel like, you know, that Melyssa Ford and Superhead, the video Vixen boxing, that would be content gold, big dog. No cap, that'll be content gold. I got one more topic for y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you've been here the whole hour and 27 minutes, salute to you, man. You are appreciated. You most definitely are appreciated. We're going to get into one more of my records, and we're going to further the discussion. Around this time, I was in Turks and Caicos, man, and I created this record because I was thinking about how fast life passes you by. And time is something that a lot of people don't appreciate. Every moment, every second, every day, everybody that crosses your path should be appreciated because time is something that we can never get back. Let's get into the record, man. This is off the album 5 p.m. in Turks and Caicos. Let's go.
can't let the time pass me by. I just want to be with you. I can't let the time pass me by. I just want to live my truth. I can't let the time live my truth, nigga. What it do? Came up, got the bricks, now copping by the deuce. Homes and cars, I'm internally scarred. I externally barred. I've been going so hard. $1 million is minimum. The killers, I'm sending them. I prevailed from hell. Didn't need no Ritalin. My rivals apologize. They know I'm the middleman. The head honcho, get to it pronto.
Hey, man, I hope y'all enjoyed the record, man. 5 p.m. in Turks and Caicos. It's on the channel. If you are subscribed to the channel or if you are a part of the La Familia, man, go check out the releases section and go listen to the album 5 p.m. in Turks and Caicos. I feel like I did my thing, man. I was out there for 5 days. Every day I wrote a song. I came back home. I recorded the songs. I mixed and mastered the songs. And I released my experience, man. Life is all about experiences. Now, we're about to get into the last topic, man. So, on the channel for the last year, I've been conversing about Fat Joe's lies, his actions, and things that I don't appreciate. I don't want to hinder Fat Joe from being able to provide for his family. I don't want to do nothing malicious towards Fat Joe. I don't want to speak maliciously towards him. And if we could sit down and have a conversation, I would. Because it's things that I agree with and it's things that I don't agree with. But what I do want to say is that him talking about foundational Black Americans during his interview with Math Hoffa at the time when Math Hoffa was popping like popcorn, this sparked a lot of discussion and it made a lot of people that is foundational to this land disgruntled.
These rumors were made by radical Black racists. Let's just say that. Okay? It's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a Black guy that ain't down with them. Right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't Black American.
Who are these guys?
You want me to say a name? We're going to give them too much clout.
I mean,
the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the fuck these broke niggas is. I'm just keeping it a buck. And their shit is to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this nigga who run them? Like, your leader? Yo, man, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. And so they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York.
Right.
So they telling a whole nother story. This was whoopity doop wop. Yo, bro. Far as I know, we're at Yankee Stadium right now, and it's hip hop's 50th birthday.
I didn't even play the whole clip. That was a clip from a previous episode that I did with my dog Rob at Water God TV. Go subscribe to his channel and check out his content. He has some dope content. But I didn't play the whole clip. And at the end of that clip, he was talking about Puerto Ricans deserve 50% of the creation of hip hop because that's how much they contributed to creating hip hop. And I said that's cap, nigga. He started calling Black people radicals. He started saying foundational Black Americans are broke niggas. He started speaking about Tariq Nasheed being the leader when Tariq Nasheed can't lead me, nigga. I'm me, nigga. At the end of the day, I know who I am. I'm up. I'm winning. I'm shining. Nigga, fuck you and Tariq Nasheed at the end of the day. He said niggas was broke. And then I heard Math Hoffa in the background laughing, calling niggas broke niggas. When I think about that, I think that Fat Joe talked too much. He has main character syndrome. And I love Jadakiss and I like their podcast. But the nigga got main character syndrome. He can't even let people speak. And you know, the Clips created a phenomenal project. And they gave Fat Joe a shout out because Fat Joe had some sort of group that had the Clips name in it. And they said it was inspired by what Fat Joe was doing in the group that he was a part of. And they created their name from the group of Fat Joe. So Joe was comfortable. And then he had this to say.
So
it's like
it was worse for me. I had a Cuban father.
Oh, he didn't understand you at all.
On the table, that he definitely looking at. Now he was telling me the plain truth. He was like, "You're not going to make it. Have you seen any Spanish guys make it in this shit? You're done." And I'm from the soil, the Bronx. And my father actually saw hip hop born. He was like, "There's no other Spanish people doing this, Papi. Like, you have no chance." And I'm on it. I'm in the kitchen writing on the table. But then they become my biggest fans.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh, what?
My father saw hip hop born. There's no other Spanish people doing this. Papi, you have no chance. But you are saying that Puerto Ricans deserve 50% of the creation of hip hop. Like I said earlier in the show about Rick Ross. Like I said earlier in the show about Barack Obama. Like I said earlier in the show about Charleston White. And I will never agree with no human being in totality. But I ain't going to counsel you. You're going to counsel yourself because you talk too much. A lot of these people, we need to be aware of their behavior and them being fuck niggas at the end of the day. And Fat Joe, he always exposed himself, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to my show, man, The Culture Orator. This was a dope one, man. Appreciate y'all. Peace, love, plenty of abundance. Make sure you go get you some money and I'm gone. Chill.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.